Today we're going to talk about the art of practicing chivalry. Our topic is geared towards the men. We're going to talk about escorting your lady while you walk down the street. Okay, now when you see a man and a woman walking down the street, you'll notice that she's on the side of the street. Now some of you may say, well, what's wrong with that, Damien? I'll tell you what's wrong with that. Way back when prostitution was actually fairly legal or wasn't considered a forepaw, the men, or the pimps so to speak, would walk the ladies on the side of the street. This would tell the gentlemen callers out there that this woman was available. In addition to that, you notice that when cars are driving by, there could be puddles, someone could be throwing some garbage out the window, so on and so forth. So if a car drove by, hit a puddle, then her beautiful dress, or through garbage, her beautiful dress would get ruined. We can't have that. So what we do is, we make sure that we walk the lady on the inside edge of the street. Therefore, if any water or garbage is thrown out the window, the man would then protect them. And they also states that this woman is not available, she's taken. I'm a lucky man. Let's go have a dance, shall we? In addition to escorting our ladies for the practicing the art of chivalry, we're also going to touch base on opening the doors for ladies and why we do this. First things first, we're going to open up a door for a lady because sometimes doors are very heavy, they get stuck. We don't want them to break in now. In addition to that, sometimes they have that push and pull sign on there, and we know how we can get confused. We pull when we should be pushing, and we push when we should be pulling. So in order to help the lady not feel so silly, we're going to take that opportunity for her. So I see the door, I simply excuse myself, I open the door, and there she goes walking through. Very good, thank you so much. They like that. When we practice the art of chivalry, not everything's perfect in the way we need it to be. Sometimes we have to help the women understand that the men want to be chivalrous. Because of the independent movement, the women's rights movement, they feel that they're strong enough to open up the doors themselves. And this is true. We don't need to help them, but men like to be chivalrous. It makes us feel good. So how do you get a woman to let a man be chivalrous? Well, here's one way to do this. Let's just suppose that your woman is walking, or your lady's walking, she's ahead of you. As she starts approaching the door, you simply say, oh, hold on one second, let me show you something. You're going to love this, Ready?
Yeah.
You sure?
Oh.
After you. And they love it. It's a nice little, it puts a smile on their face right then and there, and hopefully they get the idea. And before you know it, they'll actually might stop at the door and wait for you to open up the door. Okay, ladies, I understand that not every man that you go out with, even your husband or your friends, are going to tell you to stop at the door so they can open up the door for you. So how do ladies train the men to open up the door and let them be more chivalrous? Very, very simple. In fact, you can always teach an old dog new tricks, and this is how you do it. Ladies, as Diana's walking towards the door and she wants to get me to open up the door for her, she's simply going to stop at the door and wait. Oh, excuse me, sorry. There you are, very good. We're going to talk about doors of the cars. And why do we open up the doors of the cars? Well, as I just got done saying earlier, that some of these doors that we can open up for ladies are very heavy. And in fact, sometimes these doors that you open up, they're very heavy that when they open them up, they slam back down on the girl's legs or arms while they're trying to get into the car. And so as a gentleman, I'll make sure that I hold the door open so she can get in there. In addition to that, if she wants to get out of the car, same idea. If she pushes the door open, it might close back on her. So I'll make sure that I go around from the car, ask her to wait there, and I'll ask her, wait right there, I'm going to go open up the door for you. When I open up the door, make sure it stays open, I offer my hand and escort her out of the car and give her a helping hand. Sometimes these cars are very low or they're very high, and so we want to make sure that they don't fall out or crawl out of the car. So therefore, continue opening up the doors anywhere you get. Because if you can open up the doors in a car and in a restaurant and in other buildings, you can certainly open up the doors to her heart.